Get the 8-ball up the ramp there. Wait, no, that's not what he says. But wrong game anyway. That's Cue Ball Wizard. So today, I'm going to finally start working on this Bally 8-ball. It's got lots of work needed, and the first thing was to reattach the bottom piece of wood. This whole piece was completely torn off. Somebody, the movers, decided to like fold the head down with the bolt still in, I believe, and so, you know, the two sides and the top of the head came off, but the bottom stayed onto the cabinet. So I had my buddy do an amazing job putting that back together, and it is stronger than ever. But what I've got ahead of me is this disaster here. I did take a video of this before, but just a quick update is that that is a friggin' disaster. We've got wire off the transformer. This is gonna need some repinning. There's some more tape here that I gotta figure out what's going on. And where's my light? My flash isn't on. So, oh, check out that. My new cool, that's gonna be hung somewhere. My cool art for the games room. Shout out to my buddy Kevin who made that out of a Strange World Bally cabinet. So that is going on the wall soon. And I just got new nice drill set for Christmas. So that will be good to get into these concrete walls. Okay, so take a look at the test points there right beside the connector. They're not supposed to have wires attached. And going all the way over to the back side of the CPU. So somebody's done some serious, oh no, it's actually, they don't go to the back side of the CPU, I lied. They go to those two resistors there. But that was all covered in the last video. But basically, I just got my head here, Bally head, sitting on this table. I figured, here's all my repinning tools. I can sit down fairly comfortably and start by tackling this, put that all back to original, remove the CPU, find out what the hell is going on the back side of that. If it's like, that connector shouldn't be burned up and the trace is burned up, but it's been replaced. You can see that that connector is white and all the other ones are brown. So we're gonna investigate what's going on behind there. That's gonna be the first step. Desolder all the wires, and then it's gonna be lots of fun figuring out where they all go back together again. I mean, the manual should be good for that. Sometimes there's mistakes, and I can take photos of other, like I've got my hot dog and that connector should be probably the same, and then figure out where this wire goes and what is going on here. Oh, somebody thought that would be a good way to ventilate the transformer heat. Oh, isn't that cute? Just drill some holes right there. Huh. Very interesting. So it's my first attempt at repinning at this table with the head off, all comfortable. Pull up a chair, and oh yeah, and I also have a few light bulbs that are broken off. So let's see if we can pop those out just for fun. Ah, there we go. No problem. I think I saw one more. Yeah, right here. All right, the project has officially begun. Already made progress. I think those are the only, oh no, we got one more. Oh no, that's just a bulb missing. Don't want to remove the whole socket. That's the bulb that I just removed. Oh boy, oh boy. It's going to be a long road ahead of me. I'll keep you posted. I thought I would try something a little bit different and kind of record a little bit of the action as it happens. So let's discover together what is going on this CPU that made somebody hack the shit out of this thing to get it to work, because well, as everyone who ever sells a pinball machine that's not working, in the history of selling pinball machines, they always use the term, well, it was working. So this is true. Every pinball machine ever made was working before it stopped working. So this guy says that it was working before the movers tried to smash the head off and bring it up the stairs. So apparently that hack worked. Apparently. But you never know until you dig in. So what do we got here? That's not a totally roasted, poached, and pooched connector at all. Huh. That seems like an elaborate way to go about fixing something. Okay, let's cut off these wires. I gotta learn how to use my little tripod on the table here better. Okay, so I'll cut off these wires on the resistors that were fed all the way to the solenoid driver, and we'll cut off these guys too. Oops, here we go again. Hey, I'm learning. We'll get through this together. Okay, so we want to cut it in the middle of the colors so we know which colors go where. All right. So now I still have my color codes, so I know what wire color goes everywhere. White, yellow, white. That looks like purple, white, blue, brown, red, white. But I think they change maybe more than once. Okay, here's this red and brown wire. See, like, look. This brown turns into gray. And so I feel like the colors are going to change a couple times potentially. So I got to keep an eye on that. Not like I'm going to use this as a guide. I will use the manual. But here's what we got here. I just don't really understand why they would do that, but hey, you never know. So I think my first step is going to be to replace the headers. Maybe they're actually even fine. We'll just desolder all this crap for starters, and okay, making some progress here. So here's the old CPU. Here's some of the wires I've removed so far and all the electrical tape, just to get a good view at what is actually going on here. So I busted out my schematics for MPU J4 connector to tell me all the colors. Like, for example, pin 1 on J4, it says 1.5, so you go to the color code. 1.5 is red, white. Then you go to the connector and make sure that pin 1 is the red, white wire. So I've confirmed the first 4 were pretty good, and then it started getting into sketchy town. So I've fixed some stuff already. There's my crimper and my pins and all my pin removal, repinning tools. But yeah, a lot of these connectors on the end, they like extended the wires for really no reason that I can understand. Like, at least the next 4, starting from the bottom, I need to cut all that stuff out. So let's do 1 pin on camera for fun. So let's see. So go to the second last pin here. I just did this black one, black red. So now this red wire is actually connected to like gray green. So let's check. Pin 18 is 9-4, and that on the code is gray green. What do you know? So let's cut that there and remove this extension. Why ever they put that in there, I will never understand. There's plenty of room. The connector is here. The board connector, male end is right here. So why do you extend all those wires for no good reason? This is my favorite ratcheting tool. Seems that a lot of people have this exact model and everybody seems to love it. Stick the pin in there. And what are we doing? Gray, green. All right, pop that in. Like so. Can you hear the laundry in the background? I'm drying my... Oh, I got some new cool pinball shirts and sweaters for Christmas, so I'll be sporting those very soon. Okay, so stick that in. Boom. And yeah, away we go. We're getting closer. I just have to sort out, you know, the sort of the middle connectors here. Everything from here to here is good. The bottom two are good, and working my way back, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I think I finally unhacked everything. There was actually 3 wires feeding from the solenoid driver to the MPU. That was what the tape was that was over here. It was hacked into this connector here. You can see this solder. So ultimately I got to tidy that up. This connector is all back to happy, except there's 2 spots where they hacked into. See, there's solder connection there and solder connection on the yellow. So other than those 3 hacked in wire points, everything is pretty much good to go. I even wired up the knocker. The wires were cut and they were too short, so I had to remove this cable tie and a few zip ties to get enough wire to rewire the knocker. And then I repinned all the burnt connectors on what is this, J3 of the power supply. So I marked the ones that I did. You can tell just by looking, they're shinier, and the other ones all seem fine. If I'm not getting my proper voltages, I'll repin the rest. But I did all the burnt ones, and I believe this orange one is very important, if I recall correctly. And check this out. This is what I found when I pulled out the orange one. Somebody looks like they might have tried to solder some frayed wires to the terminal. So that was definitely a good find. That will... I gotta really use some moisturizer, holy hell. And I found that, well, let's go take a look. Pulled apart my hot doggin', and I forgot, this thing is in such original condition. It has the cage still on the transformer and the plastic shield. This is such a beautiful machine. I love this game. But I was able to determine that lug 10 here has a whitish greenish wire, and lug 12 has no wire. So simple enough. There's lug 10, white green, lug 12, nothing. So that's hooked back up. This connector's happy, knocker's happy. All of the hacks have been removed. This has been repinned. Here's all the aftermath. And the next thing to do basically is bring this head to the body and set everything up and give it a try. So, oh, maybe what I might do first is, I haven't unhacked this yet. Should have did that already, but I'm gonna desolder these wires and probably pop this CPU into hot dogging. Ooh, I would lose my high score and all my settings, but I might just do that and then see if this thing boots up. But look at this, where the old battery was. There's no corrosion. This guy is great condition, so it's a great candidate to, if it's not working, to be restored. But there is some work been done to it. See that 6800 chip there? Is like in a socket. It's like double socketed. So there's something going on there. I think these AMI chips are crap from what I recall. So if this doesn't boot up, it's definitely a good candidate for repair. Anyway, I don't know if that'll be on this video or next, but either way, stay tuned.